What's good, everyone? Welcome back to the show Recap with Mo. Well, we're getting ready to get into a little bit of Tyler Perry's Sistas. But before we get into this thing, make sure to like and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss shit snit that's going down, alright? So we're getting ready to do a little bit of pre-gaming for tomorrow night's episode, Season 6, episode number 20, titled The Last Laugh. All right, now the synopsis for this episode states that Karen reconsiders a new direction for her shop while Zac and Fatima prepare for unfortunate news about his son. Meanwhile, Sabrina is determined to reclaim her life. All right, so now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into this thing. So we kicked this preview of what's about to go down tomorrow night off with Danny and Preston. Now, we could tell that there was going to be some issues in this episode with Danny and Preston. Now, we're not for sure how much is going to be, involved, how much is going to be involved in this episode, because you know how Tyler likes to do. Sometimes he'll show something and he just might tap dance on it a little bit and then completely jettison, right? And I think with this has been building up for a while, because we know that Preston has been trying to press, this relationship. He's been trying to build this relationship. And I've been saying for quite a while now that Danny just isn't ready for a for real committed relationship, or at least with Preston. I think she still has this in her mind that it will never work with him. I was trying to give it an opportunity, but I just don't foresee myself being with Preston. And that's completely fine, but just be honest with this dude about this situation. Also, she got this whole thing going on with Tony at the airport, which we see in this clip as well, where we see Danny smiling back at Tony. Tony's smiling back at her. So obviously she's interested in this guy. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. I think in the previous episode, Danny found out a little bit more about Tony, even though they didn't have the opportunity to sit down and get to know each other one-on-one. His response with, defending Penelope, that did something for Danny. I could tell, because she was like, yeah, let's go out there and be his, you know what I'm saying? And they were together. They were one union right there. And for Danny, that's all she needed, right? As strange as this guy is, as strange as he is listening to my conversations and all of this, you know what I'm saying? I can foresee myself being with this dude. And that's honestly where I think Danny is headed. Unfortunately for Preston, this may be it. Who knows, right? But, I think that Danny is really looking for a way out or an opportunity into another situation. So I think this may be her opportunity. And I do not believe that it's going to end well for she and Preston. Now, on the flip side of this, when we're talking about people going through some shit, we're going to talk about it real quick. We're talking about Zac and daggone Heather. Now, I don't even know where the hell to start with this situation, because, in the previous episode, we had the nosy ass neighbor call Fatima, tell her that, hey, y'all better get up over here. There's something going down, and I don't know. It's a whole bunch of them out here, the ambulance, all this stuff, like something went down for real. So they are assuming something went down with Michael, and that's all they could think about, right? So now we see this scene where Heather is sitting down on the couch. She's being attended to by the EMT, and she's standing up telling Zac, like, y'all better get up out of here before I call the police. Now, that's an interesting thing for Heather to say, because I'm looking at old boy back in the back over there in the corner. Now, I'm not for sure who he is to Heather. That's not the same dude that I recall. Maybe someone can, put down in the chat if it was, but he does not look like the previous person that was there. So who is he? And now you're talking about you're going to call the police, like, for what reason? What happened? Why are you being, visited by the EMT? Where's my son, Michael? Those are all the question marks that we have as fans of this show. We really want to know what's going down, because ultimately we know this is not a great fit for Michael and what he's going through right now. We really want this situation to be resolved, right? But I'm not going to lie. I'm wondering, first and foremost, where has she been? She was not at the house. So where did you take Michael? Where did y'all go? Secondly, what's going on with you and why are they checking on you? What happened? Did somebody do something to you as well as with Michael? Those are all the questions that we have. So I ain't gonna lie, I'm pretty much over this situation. I just want it to be over with. But it seems like for Tyler Perry, he's just going to continue this on a little bit longer. Shit, I mean, if we go back to the situation in the previous episode where they were talking about how long Andy had been dealing, with Gary and how long he had bought her an apartment and a car and all of this stuff. They said, it's been about a month. I'm like, damn, it's been a month. Like, it feels like it feels a lot longer, right? But I know with this show, it just seems like everything is just dragging right now. And I guess it is what it is, but hopefully next season we'll see some changes with that. Next we head over to Gary. Now, I ain't gonna lie. No, let me step back real quick and then we'll deal with the Gary situation. So we see Jordan calling Andy. Now, we knew that she had conveyed to the girls in the girls' circle that she was no longer going to be going out with anybody. She was going to, just going to attend to herself and spend time to herself and be single for a little while, get to know herself and all of this stuff. And we already knew that was BS from the get-go. Andy didn't believe that when it came up out of her mouth. Like, let's be honest, all right? She did not believe that. And nobody believed it. Even Danny was like, all right, so for real. Like, you got this dude by the name of Jordan, you just gonna leave him alone? And so like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. You're a damn you're a daggone lie, man. And then another thing, thinking about the previous episode, I wonder if we're going to see something with Maurice as well, because in the previous episode, Maurice met a gentleman by the name of Patrick at the party, right? And, Maurice didn't want to seem too eager. He was trying to be, a little more chill than he typically is when it comes to somebody that he actually likes or is attracted to. So maybe we'll see something with that in this episode as well. And then, what else am I missing before I get to this Gary thing? I think that's it. I think that's pretty much it. I think Andy is going to end up going out again with Jordan. I honestly didn't believe a word that came up out of her mouth. So going on from there, this is probably the most interesting part to me in this episode, all right? Because we see Gary, Hayden, as I like to call him, Hayden, and his girl, Tamara. Now, Tamara is looking at Gary, smiling at Gary. Gary is still unhappy right now because of his BS that's going on right now. He ain't getting no loving. Well, at least we don't think he is. I honestly believe there's somebody else on the side as well. There's no way in the world that he just got these two women out here. Ain't no damn way. I'm just being honest. But I'm intrigued about this conversation. And then the next thing we see is Hayden, and Gary by themselves. So I'm wondering, did she leave, go back into the house? They wanted to have this side conversation. Well, not they, but Gary. He gives this envelope to Hayden, and I'm thinking like maybe this is some information on Tamara, which I find odd, but maybe it is. Maybe he had somebody else look up some stuff, on the black on the black web or whatnot to find out a little bit more about, who she is. And I'm gonna be honest, I would not put it past Gary at all. He seems like that type of Negro that would definitely do some, do some stuff like that, right? But then on the other side, is he bringing him documentation that he needs to secure his situation due to the fact that they had this conversation previously about, hey, you got the money, you got the means, like, you got what you need to do. If this baby is yours, you were going to get married to this woman by the name of Penelope, and you need to do what you need to do to protect yourself. Maybe these are documents that he's bringing over there to have Hayden look over, make sure they're good to go. But I'm thinking that it's information about Tamara. honestly, because at this point, Tamara is no longer there. So who knows? But anyhow, that's the most intriguing part of this episode for me, outside of the whole situation with Michael and Heather and Zac and all of that stuff. But that's pretty much it, y'all. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this thoroughly. I'm anxiously waiting for this episode to come out on Wednesday night. Also with that, man, a brother was sick over the weekend. I know y'all probably wondering, where the hell are our recaps for, the Oval and all of this? And I'm like, man, the brother felt like he had the flu on Saturday, Sunday. It was rough. You know what I'm saying? The brother took some Tamiflu, to some other stuff. So I don't know if you could tell in my voice, it was a little raggedy, man. But I'm back in effect. I'm feeling good, feeling a lot better than I was on Saturday and Sunday. So I would definitely get those things out to y'all. And what else? Oh, one more thing. I'm trying to find out a little bit of information about the Johnson series on Bounce TV. If you have yet to watch some of my recap videos on that, please go back and check those out as well. That is a phenomenal show. And the only reason why I'm thinking about it, because we're talking about Sistas, and Johnson is a show about four brothers, not biological brothers, but it's sort of like sisters. And since I talk about the sisters, I'm definitely going to talk about my brothers as well, right? So anyhow, with that being said, I'll talk to you guys soon. Talk to you later. Peace.